In a powerhouse move sending shockwaves through both the entertainment and royal worlds, tennis superstar Serena Williams has drawn a hard line in the sand, telling ESPN she will back out of hosting the 2024 ESPY Awards if Meghan Markle attends the ceremony in any capacity despite not being an invited guest. The stunning ultimatum came by way of an exclusive statement Williams' representative released to the sports broadcasting giant on her behalf Wednesday. And the famously outspoken cultural icon did not mince words, voicing her justifications for the strict Markle-free demand as a non-negotiable condition to follow through on her previously announced hosting duties for next year's prestigious ESPY ceremony. Serena has made it flatly, unequivocally clear to ESPN that she will not participate, attend or have any involvement whatsoever in the ESPY Awards if Meghan Markle enters or attends the event as a guest or uninvited after-party participant, her vehement statement begins. This blanket prohibition stems from her principled stance opposing Markle's documented mistreatment of workers and unforgivably malign conduct representing narcissistic celebrity privilege run amok. From there, Williams systematically dismantles the Duchess of Sussex with a litany of grievances underpinning her absolute refusal to be associated with her in any professional capacity, let alone the highly visible ESPY hosting spotlights. Citing years of leaked email evidence, testimonies from traumatized former staffers, and corroborated media reporting, the tennis legend paints Markle as an utterly unrepentant workplace tormentor who chronically dehumanized every underling she ever encountered while using a pretense of multiracial empowerment to gaslight victims escaping her psychological squalor. Meghan Markle stands implacably guilty of repeatedly berating, demoralizing, and punishing every faceless blue-collar worker and aspiring young creative she could boss her fragile god complex upon over even the most microscrutinized misstep, the statement continues. And let's be even franker, all while actively scheming to pile-drive this monstrous abuse regimen systematically behind closed doors using cutesy femininist smokescreens exactly like she perpetuated while bullying staff on the Suits set, then love-bombing friendship investors before ultimately berserking so many frightened aides into absolute mental instability at the palace. Williams' letter goes on to equate Markle with pretty much every Karen-esque ultravillain imaginable, from reckless corporate polluters profiting off poisoning minority communities to soulless Hollywood abusers stripping every young girl's dignity away one gaslighting forced drinking at a time. She also accuses the Duchess of promoting what she deems pseudoscientific chaos magic, centered on peddling the disinformation that fancy-acting chumps can actually chakra-align global societies through activism only tangential to actual governing metrics like policy reform or economics measure. In other words, whether couched in cute empowering boss babe branding or not, what inheres is still just another shrill privileged woman of dastardly mean abusing underclasses stripped of all agency to speak up, none of whom actually wield any real means of exacting cultural pressure against her unless heroically pillars anchor a bloody brilliant counterforce, the Barnbernardia tribe from the pro-athlete continues. And since my heroism shall eternally be mythically honored regardless what deities of woke may scourge the land, I unrepentantly accept that bulwark mantle by holding blistered feet to the fire. To put an even finer point on her blanket opposition, Williams concludes by taking one final rhetorical bayonet straight to the heart of the ex-royal's most monetizable market capital, reserving some characteristically savage shade for even Harry himself in the wake of the couple's various polarizing controversies plaguing 2023. Unless the silly sad rich divorcee stays firmly planted at her taxpayer-pilfered Montecito cottage collecting Oprah's self-anointed grifter scraps of errant sympathy, neither myself nor the good folks at ESPN tasked with producing a respectable ceremony honoring champions of true consequential human endurance should reasonably expect any semblance of steadying moral high ground, not upholding reasonable codes ceding sanctuary for any woman celebrating her very identity through constantly spitting on others just so she can taste brief carbonized exalts washing over like sweatery fumes from a shorn human spirit wick fed to that anemic runt ginger pimp's dwindling relevance pyre. And if anyone thought Williams was perhaps merely blowing off some off-season steam with characteristically bombastic rhetoric, her in no uncertain terms, Markle or me ultimatum instantly catalyzed nothing short of a full-fledged corporate panic among the highest ESPN executive ranks. Within hours of the statement's release, multiple sources confirmed that Disney corporate affairs chief lieutenants from across all major broadcasting subsidiaries were summoned for emergency crisis sessions. Worried over both the seriousness of Williams' threat as well as optics that any entertainer could outright demand the network discriminate against other talent, the